So the Michigan State Spartans, Jonathan Smith, the new coach, he's allegedly supposed to be getting Aiden Childs, who's a freshman quarterback in Oregon State. He's the number 2 overall player and the number 1 quarterback in the portal. So Adrian, how do you like this move for Michigan State and Jonathan Smith?
I love it because if you look at what he did to Oregon State, former player for them, he built that program back up out of the depths, got him to a couple bowl games, and he did it with little to no talent, low star 3-star guys, maybe a 4-star guy here and there. But you come to Michigan State, who's top 20 in revenue and attendance with the NIL money, because we know their spend. Matt Ishbia has shown the ability to do that. Phoenix Suns owner now, help them be competitive. That's what we want. Into the Big Ten right now, especially with the realignment in Oregon, USC, Washington, UCLA coming into. And I think he'll do a good job. He'll hire a good coaching staff. He'll be competitive in a year or two with the transfer portal. Guys will want to come play for him. Like you said, Aiden Childs started into the portal yesterday. Even Dante Moore entered the portal yesterday, a former King quarterback. Rumors he's going to Michigan, but wait and see. But I think Jonathan Smith will do a good job at Michigan State and build them back into a really good contender in this Big Ten. So,
yeah, I really hope that he. I hope that he can pull outs here, because I think it'd be strong for him. We all know that all 3 of the quarterbacks from MSU left. Good riddance. They weren't really worth anything. They'll probably get offers from like Bowling Green. That's where they're going to be sent here. So, if he can get Aiden here, that would be huge. Maybe he had some sort of act in recruiting him, I would assume, considering he went to Oregon State. As long as he can get good receivers around him, help him with the O-line, hopefully, like Adrian said, that NIL money can come in and get some top talent. As long as you can, if he does land Aiden, you can get some star alignment around him. I think it's good. I watched a few highlights. He came into a game week 9 or 10, something like that, for Oregon State. He looked pretty good. Obviously, he's still a young kid, so him backing up J.O. Lele was probably pretty good and eye-opening for him. So bring him here. I think it'd be good. Like Adrian said, bring some competition to the Big Ten. Well, what was formerly known as the Big Ten. There won't really be that much anymore. But yeah, that's true about Moore too. You go to U of M, that would also be pretty scary. He's a top talent, and I saw that they were also the number 1 recruit quarterback out of high school was considering U of M or LSU for his choice to go. I think LSU he was leaning more towards what I last saw, but I think there's still time before he has to commit.
Yeah, I seen Matt Rule, Nebraska's coach, came out the other day and said that pretty much to get one of the top quarterbacks out of the portal is going to take pretty much $1 million to $2 million. So that's crazy that the landscape of where college football is at now. And I think that last year this time in the portal it was like 700 something players. Now it's like almost 1,500 this year. So it's crazy. So Reed, you think the portal is a good thing for college football?
I think it's good for the entertainment of football. I think it's going to diminish smaller programs, unfortunately. I think that the higher programs, like Adrian said, you have top 20 in revenue, and they have big backers. They can spend. It's basically NFL free agency at this point for players. So we've seen A&M spend out the wazoo to get guys to go there when Jimbo was there. And obviously, people can pay bigger money for coaches. Kids sometimes, they'll follow coaches. Lincoln Riley, Caleb Williams followed Lincoln Riley. There's talks that Dylan Gabriel might go to USC to go play with Lincoln Riley. We don't know, but yeah, I really think it's going to be a new landscape. Totally. That's crazy, those numbers. I didn't know that it was that many.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it, that's what I'm looking at right now, guys, on 247. The updated transfer portal. Even read your guy Patrick Payton just entered the portal. The second-year guy at Florida State. Had an apology to the Seminole fans, which is crazy. So when anybody leaves or transfer, it doesn't surprise me. Like DJU might end up going to Florida State or Mississippi State. We'll see what Dante Moore does. Aiden Childs, Will Howard from Kansas State. It's just basically Mike Elko, now the Texas A&M coach, said it's like the Wild Wild West. Like you said, Matt Rule said you got to spend some money on the quarterback, which is the case. I even was reading something yesterday where they said Ryan Day has been fielding calls to the NFL. That's why a lot of the Ohio State guys have entered the portal. But it's just You got to keep it with the times right now. Maybe they need to do some type of like, some type of like shorten the window or have some type of guardrails up. But it just kids are really just leaving for the money. The grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence, depending on you look at it. But in my opinion, before you even leave, I think most kids have an idea of where they're gonna go, and they're just waiting to see who gives them the most money to leave. So even like a Cam Ward from Washington State, he's in the portal. He'll probably get $1 million if he goes to Ohio State or USC or Oregon or wherever it happens. But it's going to be the Wild Wild West, man, and nothing's going to surprise me. But I think I think in order to be a good program, you have to supplement the transfer portal along with high school recruiting and not be solely based on the transfer portal. Otherwise, your program is going to go into shambles.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are looking at the transfer portal as almost like a win now type scenario for teams, like big name teams. They're going to pay to get guys to try and get a national championship. Now with it open to 12 teams, whatever opening up to, it's going to be even more prevalent. I think it's. I don't know if they can really do it. They might even have it now. Is there like a cap space? Like there's got to be a limit you could spend, right?
Well, the collective, it depends on the school. The collective will tell the school we'll give you $1.5 million for NIL, and then you're going to spend that however you need to spend it. I read a thing where they said Indiana was giving the football program $3 million for NIL. So, I kind of just think it depends on how much you care about football, who's your boosters, who's your collective. It kind of just, like I said, it's the Wild Wild West. So every situation is different. It's not like the NBA or NFL where everybody's working under a salary cap or a cap space,
Well, that's what I'm wondering is if it gets too crazy. Are they gonna end up capping it at some point? Because maybe someone is crazy enough to say, here, we have so much backing money from Ishbia or whoever it is, here's $5 million in NIL, and you can go and get that top quarterback, and then maybe two of the top receivers and a top O lineman or something like that. But people are going to end up spending like free agency.
I think the problem is too. It's like the college football doesn't have a commissioner like the NFL or the NBA, so there's no one sole person over the whole entire body of college football. You have like commissioners for each conference, so it's like, who are we going to listen to? Who's going to make those calls? Nobody's listening to Charlie Baker, the new NCAA new guy in charge. So it's like NCAA should have got in front of this years and years ago with a bunch of old guys not being able to do anything, just being behind the times. And now look what's happened. So I'm all for players getting paid and making their money, but it's just there's no direction, there's no equal road. So like you're talking about like programs like the bottom Power 5, like a Toledo or a Miami of Ohio, or even like a Tulane who just lost their coach Willie Fritz, like a North Texas. These guys are getting poached, and they're not. As soon as these guys get any looks, they're gone. It hurts like the D2 schools, the D3 schools. So it's just this is all about money, man. At the end of the day.